So throughout this year, the students, you guys have gone on a couple of field trips, you've had presentations, talk about the ASER report. The students have been working on their summary writing. They started, I think, you guys started reading the ASER, I think, fairly early on in the year. But this year we focused on mostly giving presentations, teach them about site and monitoring activities before they actually started diving into the summary writing of the project.
We went on a couple different field trips and learned about how to monitor the environment and how they do it on the DOE site. It's more hands-on, and you typically learn more about your environment than you would in a normal science class.
You get to experience more and be more out in the open than having to sit in a classroom.
The field trips were nice. I think the students really enjoyed those, going down to the plant and seeing just the size of the buildings. You know, one day those buildings aren't going to be there, and I think especially when they get old like me, they're going to figure out that, you know, those buildings are gone and I got to see them. I think that's pretty special. And they really did well with the fish sampling. If we'd have had more waders, I think they all would have been in the creek. So I was very encouraged to see their enthusiasm and their participation in that.
The point is, it's a very complex site, and there's a lot of misinformation. It's just grown over time, over the decades, and it is part of your work is to help to find what the truth is.
First, we split it up into sections and then assigned those sections, and then we wrote a summary of our individual section and then joined it all together.
The purpose is to take the large technical ASER document and have the students summarize that document.
To take all the environmental information that goes on at the plant and put it in a form that just general people in Pike County or anywhere can read. It condenses it and simplifies it.
One of the big things that they got out of it was just the chance to learn to work together on a project of this magnitude. Something of this size, I don't think most of the kids who were in that class had ever attempted before.
The ASER document itself is a public document written to show the monitoring activities that are taking place at the port's site. The ASER summary document is intended for the public almost immediately around Piketon and the surrounding areas.
I can guarantee you that 100 times more people read your report than would ever read that ASER report. And so you may not realize it, but what you've done is taken a bunch of work that a lot of people have done, and it's all required by law, and you've taken it and interpreted it. So along the way, you've had to understand what you were reading, and you took that 1,000 pages and made it into 65.
I think the students learned that the site is not as scary as maybe they once thought.
Everybody thinks radiation is the biggest concern, when in fact what you learned was we were just essentially a chemical plant.
The monitoring that they do there is so strict that any would be caught very quickly.
And so when you guys think about career choices, that's part of the purpose of Science Alliance, is to realize that it's not all just engineers and chemists. We have PhDs, but we have lawyers, and we have nurses, and we have janitors, and we have everything that runs in between. So I think some of the work that you did today will help to, I think, spread what happened, spread the truth, get rid of some of the old local lore that people like Mrs. Evans and I just kind of build upon. And you guys, I think, got to some of the real nuts and bolts of what happens, and I think that's critical.